kind of like playing a funeral. And what this team did not do tonight, and I never thought I'd see an LSU defense that was just kind of like, I'm going to lay down. That's what happened tonight. Up to this point, the LSU offense struggled a little bit. But, Kev, this LSU defense gave up rush after rush after rush. I didn't think I would come in watching this game and go, okay, fine. LSU's defense is going to give up that many yards, like 318 on the ground.
Yeah.
So, up to this point, you would always worry about, the LSU offense and Max Johnson. Tonight, they had no defense. Kind of like guys just took a personal day. I'm off. No effort. And that was so disappointing because you're going, all right, fine. So the offense is going to do their deal. They did not do it. And then the LSU offense, they don't show up.
Well, and then the other thing, here's the thing about the LSU offense. The running plays they ran tonight, where in the hell were they in the first 5 games of the season?
You know what? Then you got to think about, okay, fine. So the LSU offensive line shows up, but then again,
well, it shows up in a way, but then
on your
very first possession, Max Johnson almost has his ribs broken as he gets blindsided from behind. You fumble loss right there. It leads to Kentucky's first score. I mean,
so check this out. So LSU's first possession at Kentucky 46, Max Johnson sacked from behind, fumbled. Okay, fine. So then Kentucky gets the ball. They score. LSU's second offensive possession, 4th and 1, Max Johnson, long look, sideline, nothing. And then you go on down the line. It's like, where's the coaching here? It's kind of like it's just so discombobulated. It's like, what is going on?
Well, it's simple to dissect what's going on when you have coordinators that have never been coordinators before, and you put them in this position. This is what you get. I mean, it's the recipe for what you're going to get. This is learning on the job. And unfortunately, this coach did not have a chance after the season they had last year.
You know what, Tim? You think about it, and you go into this game, and you're going, okay, fine. Because Ed Ogeron said on Monday, well, we had a good week of practice, the whole bit. How many more opportunities is this guy going to get away with that?
Probably not many. I mean, look, he has not handled, Ogeron, look, I've been out of this since 2015.
I get it.
And I will tell you this. In 2019,
right?
I've seen a lot of college football. I've been around. I was on the air, on network. Curly Hallman years, DiNardo years, Mike Archer years. I've seen it all. I've seen the good, bad. I've seen it, basketball, baseball. I mean, I've seen it all. In 28 years, I saw it all. But in 2019, when LSU beat Alabama, and Ed Ogeron went nuts in the locker room over one win when he had a generational quarterback, a genius offensive coordinator, and numerous NFL players, that's when the question marks should have been rising in people's head. It certainly hit me as to, wait a minute, you just won a ball game against Alabama, who has been beating you senseless and merciless and has been winning national championships for years. You beat them because you had a better team that year. And instead of handling yourself like a coach that is a championship coach, like a Saban, like him or not, he handles himself like a championship coach. And of course they lost today. I get it, got it, and understand that. It was like they conquered the world. Everything's over. We're the greatest now. And that's not how you build it. And that was the beginning of where we are now, of where you see this LSU program is now. That is the fact, and that is what has happened. And this head coach did not handle prosperity well at all. We all saw what happened last year with the 5-5. Everybody can talk about COVID. This year's different. Everybody's playing on the same playing field. It's 3-3. And the problems with this football team didn't start last year. They started in that national championship season when you sent a message to your players that, hey, we're here. We're going to beat everybody. This is our field. You don't do that. You just don't do that. And this is totally, absolutely expected to me. This is exactly what I expected to happen. And it's happened. And now, Scott Woodward's got to deal with whatever he's got to deal with to fix the problem.
All right, here's my question to you. I didn't see any emotion early. And I'm looking in the LSU defense. Would you agree, up to this point, lights out?
As far as
this game.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you can criticize the LSU defense up to this game. Tonight, don't know.
It's a different problem, and it was the same thing last year. It was a different problem every week. We're going to work on it. We're going to get better in practice.
You know what? You know what, Kevin? You bring up a good point. Like every Monday, well, we had a great week of practice. Great week of practice. When are the LSU fans going to see that?
Right. Look, when you and here's the other thing. And granted, they ran the football tonight against a team you didn't think they were going to be able to run the football against. Okay, so LSU had Ty Davis-Price had a career night. LSU ran the football, but you still can't protect the quarterback. The quarterback is not nearly. I mean, you could tell he's got happy feet. He gets out of the pocket too early. I mean, he's scared to death back there. He's going to get killed, and rightfully so, because he almost has been a couple of times. But when you're in a situation where you expect, and I'm not trying to be critical, but just using sense, okay? An offensive line that was not very good last year, and you expect that same offensive line, the same guys coming back, to be good the next year? I don't quite understand. I don't quite understand that. Well,
No. Check this out. Here's what's crazy.
And I thought we were going to be playing memories because I was looking forward to that.
No, I get it. But 4 of the 5 offensive linemen, you got the center who transferred from Harvard. 4 of the 5 four-star offensive linemen. 4.
Yeah.
Like Alabama recruited all 4.
They were all highly recruited.
You kind of like wonder, well, let me get this right. So like 4 of the 5 offensive linemen, 4-star recruits. But yet, tonight, did a good job when it came to running the football. But how do you get to the point where the biggest criticism going into this game was what? Offensive line.
Right.
Tonight, they didn't do a bad job.
In pass protection, they did. I mean, they were able to run the football. I mean, basically Kentucky dared them to run the football, and they did. I mean, that's exactly what they did.
So here's my question to you. So where does this program go from here?
That's a very good question for the guy sitting in the athletic director's seat. I mean, I don't think there's any. I don't know if the train wreck that has started to happen with this season is going to be corrected. I think that, no coach is going to survive in a situation where you go 5-5 and have a losing season the next year at a program like LSU. It just doesn't happen. Not in this day and age. I mean, we've seen it. Everybody's we've seen it. So, I don't know what's going to happen. Could they turn it? Is it possible for some miracle to happen and them to turn it around? Yeah, but that's a miracle. But we don't see any sign of that because this team still has the same issues. I mean, this team is a team with multiple issues. I mean, last year, and you look at the number of players. I mean, you look at roster management. I mean, there's so many issues that have happened after 2 nights. There was no attention to detail paid after that 2019 season. After that 2019 season, we're here, we're LSU, and we're going to beat the hell out of everybody. That was the attitude. Not we're going to work harder than the other teams, not we're going to recruit harder than the other teams, not that we were going to hire the best coaches than the other teams. No, we were LSU, we won a national championship, here's our ring, let's shove it in your face, and we're going to beat you. And guess what? That didn't work.
All right, so you come off the loss to Auburn. Would you anticipate a little bit more fire? Would you?
No.
From the players?
No.
You wouldn't?
No.
So here's my question to you. So, all right, fine. You lose that game. I'm thinking, all right, the players are going to play for the coach. They're going to play for the coach. You didn't really see that tonight early.
No.
In the entire game. So my question to you is, are you telling me the players quit?
I'm telling you, look, I don't know if they quit. I mean, you can't say that they quit. Yeah, I mean, you can't. Look, I mean, the offense came back, scored a couple of touchdowns when they could have got beat 56-7. But, they came back and they did some things.
No, my question is from the Auburn game.
Do I think
to this game.
Do I think the attention to detail?
Kind of like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I think it's. Looked to me like they were going through the motions. I don't know if quit's the right word, but it looks like they were going through the motions. We're due up for a break. We are going to take your phone calls tonight. 225-499-9898. LSU loses tonight to Kentucky in Lexington, 42-21. The Kentucky Wildcats, boy, talk about two programs going in the opposite direction. 1950, the last time they were 6-0. They're 6-0. LSU is sitting at 3-3 with Florida coming to town next week. Not a good night for LSU. This is Eagle 98.1 Game Day, and we'll be right back.
The saying goes, desperate times call for desperate measures. But Louisiana heat is nothing to play with. AC outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call Accutemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
They said I was small, weak, said my heart wasn't strong enough. But I showed them what heart looked like, again and again and again. Mom got me the right care, the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Don't let people tell you who you are. Show them the right card, the right care.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
With more arriving daily. Plus, now is a great time to sell your vehicle to Robinson Brothers Ford. Robinson Brothers is buying every car, truck, and SUV we can, even purchasing some vehicles for more than what you paid for it. Hurry to Robinson Brothers Ford. RobinsonBrothers.com.
Hey, I'm David Badgeron, Vice President, Branch Manager of Louisiana Land Bank in Opelousas. A lot of people ask me, do y'all just deal with farmers? At Louisiana Land Bank, it could be a part-time farmer to just a person want to buy land, doctors, lawyers, nurses, plant supervisors. We can help anyone that has a dream to own land. So if you don't know Louisiana Land Bank, you should get to know us. We'll take good care of you. Give me a call. I'm David Badgeron at Louisiana Land Bank.
Eagle 98.1.
Kevin Ford and Richard Condon back on Eagle 98.1 Game Day as Kentucky beats LSU in Lexington. Kroger Field, they call it. 42-21, the final score. Probably wasn't that close as Kentucky raced out to a 35-7 lead before LSU tacked on a couple of touchdowns. And Kentucky decided, within 14.
Hey, Kev.
Go ahead.
Doesn't that on Monday say Tell the Truth Monday?
Yeah, it's Tell the Truth Monday. Yes.
Right. Well, we're going to tell the truth Saturday.
Well, no. Yes, it's still Saturday. It's 11:40.
Yep,
I just want to make sure, because we have to tell the truth even about the day, Rich.
So when you watch this game today,
Yes.
and you watch the whole thing that turned out and how there was a lack of emotion on the defensive side, and you're seeing all the yards they gave up on the defensive side, and I'm going, everybody watching this game on the SEC network, what are you thinking right now? Seriously, what are you thinking?
I think a lot of people are thinking, how did LSU get to this point? And there's a bunch of answers to how they got.
How is LSU 8-8 since they beat Clemson? How is that?
Very simple.
Think that.
Well, it's Richard. It started in the post game of the Alabama game in 2019. That's where it started.
How many people at 11:41 are going, wow, wait a minute, I went to the Dome and I bought that much, and you know what? I stayed at a hotel, and are you telling me when I walked out of the Dome that night and went to the Royal Sinesta, the Maui Island, that are you telling me when it comes to like October 9th of 2021,
that
8-8,
that event, that night was the beginning to what you see right now.
No, you brought it back to the Alabama game.
Yeah, the Alabama game. I mean, it was, and everything that happened after that championship game, it's been downhill ever since. It's not a surprise. When you act like you have arrived, when you act like you have achieved, you're done. In anything you ever do in life, you are absolutely done. And that's what happened. It's simple.
Well, I'm going to tell you
this. You can sit here. Wait, hold on. You can sit here and talk about X's and O's. You can talk about who they recruited, the assistant coaches, and all of that. All of that goes along in the process of this. But when you act like you're finished and you're done and you're there, you are absolutely finished. It happens every single time. Ask Gene Chizik.
You know what? When you talk about winning games, okay, fine. So if you're going to go 8-8 after they beat Clemson on January 13th, if you're going to go 8-8, you better nail your PR. You better nail your PR.
Well, it wasn't nailed on Wednesday night.
Coach O, no, I mean, I know the prank call and his response a whole bit. And you know what? Nobody is better to comment on that than you. Hey, I got to hold down and whatever.
Right.
But if you're going to go 8-8 after winning a national title, you better nail your PR. And Coach O hasn't.
No.
He just hasn't.
No, it's
so like you're 0 for 2. People out there thinking about it, going, wait a minute, we won a national title. We've gone 8-8 since then, and look, all the stuff's on, all of the the BS on social media, whatever. But I think most people out there know that 50, 60, 70% is right.
Yeah. And, you're going to have a game next Saturday at 11 o'clock in the morning where I'll bet anything, you're not going to have 40,000 people at that game.
No, here's another question. What game the average LSU fan out there right now thinks they're going to win the rest of the way? Halfway point? Okay, ULM. Great. What about A&M, the last game? Florida, all of that, Alabama, Ole Miss, Arkansas.
Well, look, let me tell you something. When everybody comes out, and do I think they're going to win a bunch of games? No. But when everybody comes out after a game like this and says they're not going to win another game, they always win another game. They're going to sneak up on somebody. They're going to beat somebody.
Okay, which one you think?
I don't know which one it's going to be, but they're going to be. They're going to win another. They're going to win another one besides that. It always happens that way.
I got a question for you.
I was young and needed the money.
I wonder, and we'll go to the phone lines, but I'm wondering, the average LSU fan out there, hey, look, you know what? I've never thought about not renewing my season tickets. I never thought after they beat Clemson in that title game, I'd kind of be like going, wow. I think that's where we are right now. It's like LSU fans are going, I never thought after beating Clemson we'd be here right now.
Richard, I'm telling you, go back to my point about after Alabama. When you act like you're there, you're done. When you act like you're there and you've accomplished everything and you're the best of the best, you're done. It's like that in any business.
So what do you think Scott Woodward's thinking right now?
I think probably the number 17 is in his mind very heavily, which is the buyout. But He's not happy with this. Obviously, he knows the fan base isn't happy with this. He's got to. Scott Woodward's got tough decisions to make, and it's. I mean, I don't think there's any way else that you can say it. This is a. This you don't want to. It's like you said. How do you turn this around? And I'm not sure there's an answer for that. And when there's not an answer for that, then there's only one thing that you can do. And I don't have all the answers. I'm not around there every day. I don't know Ogeron. I saw him one time. He couldn't pick me out of a crowd of two. I mean, I saw the dude in the gas station right now buying a candy bar. That's the only time I've ever been around him. So I don't know the guy. I'm not in the building. I don't know what the players think.
You know what? The thing about it is, on a post-game show, you want to kind of like, all right, fine, I'm going to find a positive angle. I don't know.
No,
I just don't know. You know what? I never thought I'd watch an LSU game where the defense this season totally like, don't want to be here. Like the defense took a personal day.
Well, it's been almost something different besides the offensive line every week. And the game is really, I mean, at this point, I think most people aren't going to be talking about the game and the specifics and what happened. We're going to find out now. 225-499-9898 is the number to call. You're listening to Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Let's go to our first call. Lake Charles, Louisiana. Dan, you're first up. Welcome into the show.
Y'all referring to what the 19. I believe what you said about it happened at 19. When you think you're there, you're there. Wrong answer for LSU, And I've been an LSU fan for a long time. I go way back that time that I watched him and Smith, and we beat them 16-12 at Tiger Stadium. But the problem is with that is that when you lose all them type of players, all them type of coaches, sometimes your coaching staff carries your ass, and they've definitely carried Coach O's ass in the past. So that's where you need to start at. So we need a new, young-minded coach that has good, and it needs to be a high-profile one in order to get this stuff straight. That's the only way it's going to happen. But, change is going to be good for the Tigers if we can do it soon.
Hey, Dan, let me ask you this. This game tonight, going to Kentucky and losing 42-21, was that kind of like the difference maker for you? Or did you already decide? Now, guy ain't the guy.
I decided a long time ago. The thing of it is that, like I said before, you're only as good as a head coach at a high-profile football team like LSU is your coaches. What's backing you? If you don't have that backing for you, you do not correct this kind of stuff at all. The thing of it is like what they really need to do if you want to make this, and he ain't got bad players defensively or anything, but you pull out the defensive tape that Georgia did the past 2 weeks, and you show that in front of our players, they'll understand this is the expectation. This is what you need to do to have success. And it'll start happening. If that don't happen, you can't correct. If you can't see that in your own mind, it's time for that coach to go.
Hey, Dan, how many times you going to hear Coach O go, we had a great week of practice, only to see like a performance like tonight?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Whoa. All right. We are on live radio, so all right. Look, everybody, they lost. Let's keep it clean. We all know we're adults and we can curse. So saying a curse word on the radio and then bragging to your friends that you cursed on the radio, or doing that, or going in the gym and pulling your pants down to brag about yourself. We don't need to do that. This is radio. We're adults.
But Kev, you know what? I think, hey, Dan, I get it.
We get it.
But I understand what he's saying. It's kind of like the same old routine. We had a great week of practice. Oh, it's all good. And you know what? When you make that kind of money and you look at this season, hey, going into this season, I'm going to ask you, there was one game LSU's going to be the underdog, Alabama, right?
Well, that was a lot
going
of people.
In.
That was
going in.
Well, that was a lot of people's take. It wasn't mine.
Exactly.
It wasn't mine. It wasn't mine.
You got 6 games left, and LSU's only a favorite in one of them.
Right.
That should never be. Now, look, 2016. Coach O, interim. Now he's a head coach. man, by this point, you should have a baseline, man. You should be like growing and consistency. Are you telling me you're going to hire coaches you did not even interview?
Yeah, I mean, look.
You know what? And I like Coach O. He's a good guy, man. But it's like you are put in a position to represent Louisiana State University. And look, if you're not going to win in games you should win, you better be good at the PR.
Yeah, I just don't.
You better be good at the PR.
I don't, I've never heard it, but I don't understand how this is a surprise to anyone. I don't get it.
But Kip, you know what? To a lot of people out there listening, a lot of people in the Bayou River parishes, yep, it is.
I mean, I don't understand when you watch what happened. I don't understand when you watch what happened.
Ole Miss?
No. I'm talking about when you watch what happened. I'm talking about after the Alabama game 2 years ago. When you act like you're there and you act like you've climbed the mountain and you're going to beat everybody, it's over. It is over with in any profession, anywhere you go. And that's exactly what happened here. And now people are seeing it. I think people looked at that year and they saw all the positives from that year, but there was one, I mean, that caught my attention so much when that happened. I mean, I wasn't on the air doing this stuff. I'm talking about fishing. But I said, this guy's in trouble. I said, this guy doesn't get it. He's in deep trouble, and he does not understand what's going on. You don't do that. And now you saw it last year, you're seeing it this year, and nothing about what I have seen is anywhere close to a surprise to me.
I mean, how do you hire assistant coaches and you don't interview?
Because you think you've arrived and you think you're the best coach and you think that you've recruited the top players in the country, and because you just got finished beating Alabama and winning a national championship, that you're good enough to do whatever you want to do. That's exactly why. And I don't have to worry about that. Somebody else can, we're just, hey, that's a guy. Look, my buddy said I should hire him, so I'm going to hire him.
All right, so somebody listening right now, right, going, oh, you guys are overly negative.
I'm not being negative. I'm stating a fact. If somebody can come up with a legitimate argument to what I'm saying, 225-499-9898. I want to hear.
You know what? You watch a game tonight, right?
Yeah.
Guess what? I see Coach O. He's on the sideline. He's flustered. He doesn't know. They're down 21-0, and he's going.
Yeah,
come on, guys, we got it.
Look, when you get in that position, it's tough. All right, before we go to another break, let's go back to the phone lines. 225-499-9898. LSU loses, by the way, 42-21. For those people that have been in a hole tonight, Alabama lost to Texas A&M on a last-second field goal, 41-38 in College Station. Go through this full Robinson Brothers scoreboard a little bit later in the show. Let's go to Abbeville. Jules, you're next up. Welcome into the show.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing good, buddy.
Hey, okay. Let me make my points real quick because y'all get carried away. Nobody's going to – the fans are leaving the games early, Richard, because the product stinks.
I get it.
That's it. Y'all talking about Orgeron survive, and it's a question of does he survive till the end of the season, which I think they ought to let him finish it out, but he's got to be gone after that. Watching LSU is kind of like watching the Saints for the first 20 years under Meekum. It's criminally and comically sad all at the same time. Y'all talked about the rushing tonight. We had no points at halftime. How many of those rushing yards did we have in the first half?
Oh, look, we're not giving them credit. I mean, we were kind of just joking about the fact that – but the question, though, is the legitimate question is no matter how many rushing yards they had in the second half, where were those rushing plays in the first 5 games of the season? That's the question.
Well, I think it had probably something to do with Kentucky's defense.
Exactly. They were daring you to run the ball.
Expecting the pass on every play.
Right.
That's kind of what they did. Kevin, I do want to say I agree with you. When to me, it's when Odell started throwing out $100 bills after the Clemson game, and that told me everything I needed to know about Orgeron and what kind of ship he's running. And I wasn't surprised the way last year went. And I was calling for his head even before that. I don't think the guy should have been hired in the first place in spite of 2019. But anyway, those are my thoughts. If y'all want to elaborate on any, feel free. Otherwise, we got a lot of callers. Thank y'all.
Hey, thank you. You know what, Kevin? I'm thinking, man, you know what tonight did for me?
What?
It's kind of like it brought me back to doing like post-game shows on another station. It's like Curly Holman was the head coach. I didn't even watch the game. Did not even watch the game. Did the pregame, went home, went to bed. I told my wife, do me a favor, wake me up. When it was about 10 minutes ago. Because I knew what I was going to get. They were going to lose. Poor coaching. Bad offensive line play. I went to Brewbacher's and did the postgame show. And I stood in a parking lot waiting for the final score. LSU football is getting to that point where I know what I'm getting.
Yeah, this is.
And you and I talked about this before the show. I know what I'm going to get.
Yeah.
And you know what? This program, it doesn't deserve this. And you know what? Ed is kind of like, look, I understand his principles, where he's from, but he's over his head. And God bless him. I'm not taking a personal shot, but I mean, I think everybody realizes this. He had Burrow. He had Brady. Okay. Then you lose those guys, and you lose like NFL first-round guys, and now you got a coach on your own. Then you're going to bring in assistant coaches, and you don't even interview those guys.
Yeah, this is not a surprise to me at all what has happened, just to be frank, and that's just me from the outside, and I've been way on the outside of this looking in, but I've had enough
So let
experience.
me ask you this. Let's go this route right now. It's late. If I had to ask everybody out there, 499-9898, you want Ed to stay or go? What do you think?
Oh, I would think it would be if you did a
80-20?
poll. If you did a poll,
Yeah,
right
now.
90-10 to go. I mean, that's what I would think, or maybe even higher than that. I mean, look, I've seen them want to fire coaches after 2 games before. So after what they've seen and the expectations of the program now, which, look, he's the one that said what the program was going to be. We're going to win championships. We are here. This is what we're going to do. He said those things. And, the other thing that he said, and I'm anxious to see how he handles all of this stuff, is I'm responsible. Put it on me. I'm responsible. Now let's see how much responsibility he takes for this. Let's see how much he owns this. Let's see how he handles it. Well, Pelini wasn't my guy. I was told to hire him last year. And, and all of those things. So let's see how he handles this situation. And I'll be very curious to see, because every other big-time situation he's been in, he has not handled very well at all. I mean, which is why he's in the position he's in now. But, guys making $7 million a year, he's got a $17 million buyout. I mean, at this point, if I'm him, I'm just like, okay, if I'm him, I just coach it out, fire me, pay me my money, and I'll move down the road and become an assistant coach somewhere. I mean, that's, so I don't know what his attitude is right now, but, and I don't know how aware he is of what's being said. Sometimes these coaches really, really know everything that's being said, and they pretend they don't, and sometimes they really don't know, or they are protected from hearing it. So who knows what the guy's hearing? And there's a lot of people that still support him. So he may be surrounding himself with those people. And, as he talks about blocking the noise. But let me tell you, there's a hell of a lot of noise out there, and it's not going to get any quieter. LSU loses tonight. Final score in the game, 42-21, after they were down 35-7 to Kentucky in Lexington. Kentucky, 6-0 for the first time since 1950. LSU, 3-3. We'll be back with more of your phone calls when Eagle 98.1 Game Day continues. Stay with us.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there. What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back, North Airway off of Airline Highway.
Tonight, we invite you to celebrate life, wherever and whenever you can, understanding that time is never on our side. Instead, gather up your friends tonight and share a few stories and laughs over a good bottle of wine. Or maybe a family meal that gives everyone a chance to reconnect and remember what's really important, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, or simply to remind someone special that they are loved. Rafino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
They said I was small, weak, said my heart wasn't strong enough. But I showed them what heart looked like, again and again and again. Mom got me the right care, the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Don't let people tell you who you are. Show them the right card, the right care.
Eagle 98.1. Protect your home with dependable roof repair and service. GarciaDidMyRoof.com.
WTGL and HD1 Baton Rouge.
Eagle 98.1 game day continues into Sunday morning, Rich. God,
you better get people excited.
Yeah, you need to get excited.
6-6.
42-20.
Wow.
42-21 the final. Kentucky wins. 225-499-9898 is the number to call. We could talk about it. We're going to keep taking calls. You need to talk about your tuna fishing trip, too. You caught a tuna.
That was awesome.
Yeah, you caught a
Thanks.
yellowfin tuna. I mean,
you told me to go to Saltgrass.
Yeah, and you caught
Went there. I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't care how in shape you are. You catch one tuna, you're done.
Yeah, you're done. It's
Absolutely.
It's very, very
done.
Tough to do. All right, I know people don't want to hear fishing stories from us right now. They're probably thinking we're filibustering, but we're not. We're going to go all the way to New Mexico. Joel, welcome into the show.
How you guys doing?
Hey,
Doing
Joe,
great.
how are you?
Yeah, I'm going to start off by answering Condit's question. I'm going to say go, and then I have a few things. How long is it going to take Woodward to take Coach O down to that fishing hole? How long are we going to stay with the quarterback that can't throw a deep ball? And final, let's go, Brandon.
As far as the I mean, I don't think you have a choice with the quarterback situation right now. I mean, he's the guy's struggling, but Nussmeier is, I know he's wowed some people. The second-team quarterback is usually the most popular player on campus when a team's struggling, but he's physically really 170, 180 pounds is not where he needs to be. He's true. I mean, guys.
The problem with this team is not Max Johnson.
No, Max Johnson is not. Yeah, look, Max Johnson. I'm not sure anybody who's being protected by this offensive line is going to be much better than Max Johnson right now. So, is Max Johnson?
I mean, Kevin, in the grand scheme. Wait. Let's kind of like nip this.
Okay.
In the grand scheme of things, it's not about talent. LSU's got all the talent in the world,
except on the offensive line.
But you know what? Let me tell you this: all four, besides the center, who transferred from Harvard, all four stars, recruited by Alabama. So I don't think it's a talent thing. But think about that.
Yeah.
So, let me get this right. So, if you give Nick Saban all five of these guys, all five, center, transfer from Harvard, the other four, left guard, left tackle, right guard, right tackle, all of them, Nick Saban offered scholarships to. Are you telling me that Nick Saban could not get more out of them?
I'm telling you that Nick Saban could. I'm also telling you in the recruiting game that's played is that you see a ton of misses with linemen.
Man, but LSU, it's not a talent thing. It's not a talent thing now.
But when you have a offensive line that was, and look, has the coaching been good? No, it is not. The players have not gotten better. But you had an offensive line that struggled last year, and I'm just thinking about this. The same guys that struggled last year are struggling this year. Why is everybody?
All right, so look, I'm 7 hours and 52 minutes before I go to church. My question to you is it talent or is it coaching?
I think it's a combination of the two. I think there's definitely a combination. I don't think these guys are as talented. I do think that when it comes to recruiting, that if you look at it, this guy was recruited by, a lot of these guys say who they were recruited by, offered by. You don't know who the hell offered these people. You really don't. Look, recruiting generates a lot of money and it generates a lot of attention. So take recruiting rankings and things like that for what it's worth. Look at how high LSU's recruiting classes have been, and then close your eyes and don't remember any of those classes and look at the last three, look at the UCLA game. Look at the Auburn game. Look at this game.
Okay,
and
fine.
tell me
so
how
we're
much.
Talking about the offensive line.
Yeah,
right?
but no. Overall,
Okay.
Is it really? Can you really have watched the game tonight and said LSU's that much more talented than Kentucky? I don't think you can. I just don't think you can.
You know what? That is sad. Check this out. So you got 4-star recruits, left guard, Ed Ingram. You got a left tackle, Anthony Bradford. You got right guard, Chanson Hines. You got the center, Leon Shanahan, whatever. He transferred from Harvard. But everybody on that offensive line with 4-star recruits. So you tell me if those guys go to Alabama, no, underperforming?
I'm telling you that it's a comment. Those guys certainly have not gotten the coaching that they need to get. That's pretty obvious from what we have seen. All right, we're going to get back to the phones as LSU loses tonight, 42-21, the final score to the Kentucky Wildcats in Lexington. Curtis from Alameda. Curtis, welcome into the show.
Curtis, how are you?
Hi, Rich, Kevin.
Yes, sir.
Look, I know these guys. Everybody is mad. I'm mad as hell. Hell, I've been paying season tickets for the last 30 years. But if they didn't leave O in the airport or in the stadium, and I love Coach O to death, Louisiana guy, get that, but anybody could have won in 2000. Hell, I could have coached LSU in 2019 and won with what you had on the coaching staff. What we have now is ridiculous. Kentucky is a redheaded stepchild in the SEC, and we just got our butt handed to it. So, Rich, tell me, how do we get our butt handed to us tonight?
I mean, you know what? It's the same thing like, how do you go to L.A. and lose to UCLA in a fashion they did? I don't know. It's kind of like Mississippi State. If they recover that onside fumble,
Mississippi State should have won that game. I mean, let's not kid ourselves.
Like, I agree. That's it. I missed it. We should be 0-3 in conference play right now.
But look, and LSU probably should have beat Auburn. So I mean, you could probably flip those two around. I mean, I think you can make. I think you got to be fair there. I think they definitely should have. So I mean,
you know what? I know what you're saying. It's like everybody LSU has played thus far this season. Thinking about the Central Michigan and the McNeese, I get that. But everybody, LSU's recruiting classes over the last 5 or 6 years so far above those schools. So how do you lose to them? And how are the games you won that close?
Roster management.
It shouldn't be.
Well, and the other thing, Richard, nobody's talking about is roster management. Look at how few players LSU had last year. Look at how many players have left the program. I mean, you don't see at high-level programs right now, you don't see your stars getting injured like Stingley and just saying, okay, I'm done.
You know what? I'll tell you one thing.
You saw it last year with LSU.
You know what? First off, about Stingley, I'm kind of like fed up with him, to be honest, because you know what? Him and his dad and the whole bit, and he's sick and he's got the foot issue. Why in the hell you go out of state for that? Think about that. I mean, I'm thinking Baton Rouge, medical facilities, going out of state for that, whatever. That's just my opinion.
Because you're protecting. Look, if Stingley is your kid or my kid, I'm doing the same thing. You're not playing anymore. Why? What's the point of getting out there and playing? You're a first-round draft pick. We're talking millions and millions and millions of dollars.
You're a teamer.
No, it ain't about teamer at that point.
You know what? Jamie Howard talked about this about his son Walker, who's injured. And he said, you know what? If he could play, I want him to play. You know why I want him to play? He's a team guy. So, you know what? Every dad's different. But the fact is that if you're part of a team, you got to play, man. You got to play. Because you signed with that program, you're part of that team, you got to play.
Well, we saw it last year, and you don't have many chances to see it this year, but you got to see it with Stingley, so maybe that should tell people something, too, with what's going on with the LSU football program. I mean, just look at the facts. I mean, that's not a matter of opinion. These are things that have happened.
All right, look, I'm going to ask you one question, Kev.
Yes.
Are you telling me there's no medical professional here in Baton Rouge?
I'm sure there is.
Or New Orleans, or Lafayette, Lake Charles, where you got to go out of state to get a medical opinion on your son? Really?
Well, because the medical opinion that they're going to get is from their doctor, and that medical opinion is going to be their opinion, which would be different from the LSU opinion. That's the answer to your question, Rich. That's exactly why. Because your LSU people say, hey, look, the kid's fine. So they're going to go somewhere where they can get a doctor and say, oh, no, you can't play anymore, and make it look like the doctor said no.
How come you can't get a doctor in Baton Rouge or New Orleans?
Because those doctors are – you're not going to use an LSU doctor for that.
You think they tied in?
I don't know the extent of the kid's injury, but I'm sure you may have a difference of opinion.
You know what? I'm going to say something. Guess what? Nobody's going to lie. I think the kid's an innie. I just do. I think, you know what? His dad is like Todd Marinovich's dad. You can't tell me you can't get a second professional medical opinion here in Baton Rouge, or New Orleans, or whatever, Lake Charles, Lafayette, whatever.
They want to control the narrative. That's why they took it away. All right, LSU loses 42-21 to Kentucky. It's time for a break, and you are listening to Eagle 98.1 Game Day, and your calls coming up, 225-499-9898. We'll be right back.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Better place than Ruffino's. Whether it's a special event, a quiet dinner, or a gathering of friends and family, Ruffino's strives to provide a remarkable experience regardless of the occasion. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Football season is finally here. Football! And at Red Stick Sports, it's time to get geared up. So get on out to the Red Stick Sports on Essen now and get properly fitted by their professional staff and all the latest style. Douglas, Wilson, Nike, Adidas, they have it all. And team pricing is always available. So come in and ask for Ryan, Dylan, Cody, or the legendary Mike Powers. They're all here to get you geared up the right way. On Essen Lane, Baton Rouge is Red Stick Sports.
AccuTemp announces the $59 post-Ida Clean and Check. For just $59, they'll come out to clean and check your AC system to be sure hurricane debris and damage is not causing performance or safety issues. Just text Ida to 31996. That's Ida to 31996.
Ram Power Days continues at Musson-Patu Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. That means huge savings continue, like a new 2020 Ram 1500 Laramie Longhorn with $6,200 off MSRP. That's right, save over $6,000 on a new Ram truck now at Musson-Patu in New Iberia, where it's all about you. $67,255 MSRP, $6,200 dealer cash, $61,055 sale price, plus tax, title, and license. See dealer for details. Offer ends 10/31/21.
If you're a small business owner, you've probably noticed how the big banks like to force you into one-size-fits-all financial service products. At Neighbors Federal Credit Union, we've created a suite of flexible commercial checking accounts designed to fit the specific needs of your local business. And with 9 full-service locations throughout Greater Baton Rouge, we're always just around the corner. We're a local small business looking out for other local small businesses. Learn more about Neighbors commercial checking accounts by visiting neighborsfcu.org. Neighbors Federal Credit Union. We're here for you. Insured by NCUA.
Eagle 98.1.
Kevin Ford, Richard Condon back with you on Eagle 98.1 Game Day as Kentucky beats LSU by the final score of 42-21. And Rich, I was just thinking about something. We're going to go back to the phone lines in a minute. And we had the SEC Network on and looking at the game earlier. Ole Miss, Arkansas, 1,278 total yards in that game, 52-51. Ole Miss wins the game. Arkansas goes for 2, and they don't get it. Fun game to watch. You know, it's the other thing I think that's frustrating right now is this team's not fun to watch. I mean, it's just not fun to watch. When you watch them, it's not an exciting style. I mean, there's just nothing. The vibe everywhere is just not good. And
the average person out there is going, okay, fine. In 2016, Coach O, interim guy. Okay, fine. He comes in, he brings in his guys, and boom, they leave. He brings in more guys, doesn't interview a couple of guys. So for the average person out there, and they're going, wait a minute, we lost 42-21 at Lexington against Kentucky, who, by the way, struggled to beat University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. And it goes on and on. So the average person right now, Kevin, is going, where is this program going? What's going on? I'm asking you. So you're at 6 games left. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you tell me what games left besides ULM they're going to win.
I don't know. I think they're going to win. If you ask me personally how many more games this team's going to win, put me on the spot right now, I'm going to tell you 2. I'm going to tell you ULM, and they're going to beat somebody else. That always happens.
So who's this somebody
I have no
else?
idea. I don't know who the somebody else is. I have
Florida?
It
Next
sure as
week?
hell wouldn't have been Florida last year. Nobody would have thought they would have won that game. Now, if the guy doesn't throw the shoe in the air, LSU doesn't win that game. But look, they're going to win. In my opinion, they're going to win another. They're going to catch somebody, and they're going to win another game. And that's always the case. Every time everybody says they're never going to win another game in the season besides the win, they're going to win another one. So I'm going to go with that opinion. But do I know it's going to be against somebody that's favored to beat them now because they're going to be an underdog in every game that they play?
All right, so fine.
Except for
So
that
you're
one.
saying, all right, fine, it'll beat ULM, and it'll beat somebody else. So it'll finish 5-7?
5-7.
Okay.
I mean, 5-7, 4-8. What the hell's the difference? I mean, whichever happens. All right, let's go back to the phones. 225-499-9898. Jay from Prairieville, welcome into the show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Appreciate you staying up late. First of all, I got to say, despite the dumpster fire that we witnessed tonight in Lexington, it's really great to hear 2 of my all-time favorite personalities on the air together tonight. It's really nostalgic for an older fellow like me. So this is really cool.
Hey, Jay, what's going through your mind right now, my friend?
Well,
I wonder how
after
old.
this game.
I think he's probably wondering how old are those 2 guys really? That's probably what's going through his mind.
I know exactly how old the 2 of you are. I used to work for both of you at different times. When I worked at Garrity, running your board. Anyway, so what's going through my mind right now, Rich? I'll answer that question for you. I think that, and people are going to call me a fair weather Tiger fan, and that's fine. Whatever,
Maybe Kevin, not me.
No, because Rich, that's one thing about you. That's one thing about you, buddy. It's always the glass is half full.
Straight up.
That's right.
I mean, we could have a Category 5 coming right at us, and Rich is going to make you feel good.
Well, my advice for Tiger fans right now would be to listen to Talk 107.3 FM on Thursdays from 6 to 7 and actually find something to do better with your time than watch LSU football.
That's my
on
fishing
Saturday.
show. No, well, I appreciate that.
You're
I appreciate
welcome.
that.
You're welcome for the free plug, Kevin.
Yeah.
So, Jay, my point with this is, so like you watch a game, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, fine. So it is like 12:23.
Almost 12:24.
All right, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like your thought after you had a couple of hours to think about it, where do you think this program is heading?
As far south as it could possibly go.
Okay.
This is my question for both of you. Well, mainly for Kevin, because Kevin, you said a minute ago that you were curious to see how Coach O was going to explain this away, how he was going to handle this in his press conference, right?
I was curious to see how he was going to handle this and how. I was curious, and all we've seen, because they didn't send us the full transcript of the press conference. I just saw a couple of clips of what he said, and it's the typical stuff.
That's right. More of his lip service. My question to you is, do you really think he's going to be employed this time on Monday afternoon, to even answer that question?
Personally, I think so, because normally, and look, I don't know what the athletic director is going to do, but if you're going to make a move, normally you have somebody on your staff at a major college football level that has had some sort of head coaching experience before. So I would say that if you were the AD and you were looking to make a move and knew you had to make a move at some point, who would you elevate on the staff that's got any head coaching experience? Normally you have a guy on your staff that has had that before. And even if it's an interim, even if it's interim. So if you're asking me,
from a PR standpoint, I go Corey Raymond.
But if you're asking me if I think he's going to be the coach on Monday, my gut is yes. Yes, he's going to be the coach on Monday.
Okay, fair enough. And to answer the question you just asked, first of all, there's nobody on the staff that has head coaching experience. We all know that. But I mean, Mickey Joseph does carry the title of assistant head coach. He's been on the staff a long time. Maybe they step him up. I don't know. I'm not Scott Woodward. I trust Scott Woodward to do the right thing. But my second and more important question for you, Kevin, is where are they biting, man?
Oh, the fish. Oh, the fish are biting pretty much everywhere right now.
Are they running, Kev?
They're running. They're running in Dularge.
Good.
Go to Dularge and catch some fish down there. Spend some people down. Spend some money in Dularge. Those people need it. They got beat up pretty bad by the storm. And speaking of getting beat up.
Love you guys, man.
Jay,
love both of you. Thank you so much.
Jay, thanks so much. Appreciate the compliments. 42-21. Kentucky wins the game over LSU tonight. 225-499-9898 is the number to call in. And I'm with the Sunshine Pumper, Richard Condon, because, Rich, you're always. I mean, that's, whenever I need whenever I need to pick me up. Whenever I'm down and out. I'm down and out. You
listen to me?
I listen to you.
Yes, you do.
I listen to you. Because you can, when I was just a youngster.
Oh, don't start.
In Baton Rouge.
Don't make me feel so
old. Just getting to Baton Rouge in college and had my little apartment and everything.
First communion.
I went to a Catholic high school. I'm a Jesuits boy, but I was Baptist.
You wore the khakis.
I wore the khakis with the name tag. I did all of that.
Right.
Yeah. And, when I would see you and making Mike Archer's wife mad, I would be
Stop it.
That is
Dude, don't go there.
That is a guy that just makes me feel better.
Lenny's Restaurant, Barbara Archer, coming up to my table and just busting my you-know-whats.
Yes.
It's a woman. What do? You kind of like put your head between your legs, massage your husband sucks, that kind of thing. And, boy, it was brutal. Kevin, absolutely brutal.
Yes. But you overcame that, Richard.
I did.
You overcame. I mean, years of therapy and, good support from your friends. I mean, you've done really well.
Well, you know what? You got to overcome everything.
That's right.
That's what life is.
42-21, Kedrick from Baton Rouge. Welcome into the show.
All right.
Kedrick, how bummed out are you?
Doing pretty good right about now. Just a few things. Last year I noticed they had an in-state hometown quarterback. Every little mistake he made, you pull him for Johnson. Now this year that he's transferred, Johnson don't look like he's supposed to be who they thought he was going to be. You don't pull him. You really don't have nobody to pull him for. You just letting him go through his growing pains. You got offensive line talent sitting on the bench. Everybody complain about the offensive line, but if you got 4 stars and 5 stars behind them, hell, you're looking the way you look, give them a chance. Some people can perform better in games than they can in practice. Some people are practice players, can't perform in the game. And LSU should have hired Lane Kiffin when they had a chance. That's going to come back and bite him because I don't see him leaving Ole Miss to come to LSU at this point. And to that guy who got a problem with singlet father, it's a free country. Man, take his kid to whatever doctor he want to take him to get the best opinion he feel he's getting. If that's not how he would do it with his kid, that's his choice. Nobody can question that or judge that. So, but, LSU created this problem. Well, the coaching staff, they created this problem. You got a 5-star local kid, best offensive lineman in the country, went to all these camps, dominated all these recruits across the country, head up. He's sitting on the bench. Hadn't played maybe 20 downs since he's been at LSU. You're not going to tell me he get to LSU and forget how to play football, forget how to run block, forget how to pass block. Not going to make me believe that. The kid that good, at least put him in the game and see if you feel like he'd have forgot how to play, because the linemen you're putting out there is like they haven't learned how to play. You're struggling on the offensive line, so, shake things up, juggle it up. Your job on the line, so it ain't going to hurt you, You might not even be the coach next week, so at least go out swinging, showing some kind of effort. Everybody just comfortable. 2019 over with. This 21 headed into 22. If they got rid of Les Miles with all the success Les Miles, because none of Les Miles' offensive lines look like this. Everybody complained about he ran the ball too much. We not throwing it enough. Now you got a throwing game. Now you're doing this. So, I mean, it is what it is at this point. But
hey, let me ask you this. Do you have any health issues?
No.
Okay, fine. So if you did, would you not entrust the medical professionals in Baton Rouge? Do you think, well, you know what? I'm going to go out of state.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
I know people that have cancer, and you got top cancer locations and hospitals in Baton Rouge. You still have people in Louisiana, Baton Rouge, that go to Houston or go to Atlanta or go here or go there.
No. Hey, let me tell you something. I'm not talking about a specific cancer treatment. I get it. You got to go out of state, professionals or whatever. I'm talking about a foot injury. This is not cancer. This is not a rare form of anything. It's a foot injury. Are you telling me that Mr. Stingley can't find somebody in Baton Rouge, in New Orleans, in Lafayette, in Lake Charles who could take care of that?
What I'm telling you, this is America. If he want to go to Canada or Egypt and get an opinion for his son, that's his choice. It's no law saying he has to stay in state. I may agree with it or may not agree with it, but that's their choice. So when has that become a crime because he decides to go where he wants to go, which he has the right to do?
No. What you're saying is somebody saying it's a crime. It's not a crime. But you know what? He's not a team guy. Sorry, you may not agree with me. Kevin may not, but he's not a team guy. He's got to always something, this and that. Last year, it was something, this and that.
All right, well,
look, you and I are not going to agree on this. All right, look, we got to move it. He's not a team guy. He wasn't there today.
All right, y'all disagree on the issue.
Making a team guy because he decided to go get a second opinion in Louisiana. Getting a second opinion is a second opinion wherever he go.
So, hey, let me ask you this: you think Stingley's going to play again this year?
No, I don't think he's going to.
Exactly
play again.
right. Thanks.
Well, you showed him favoritism.
He's not going to play this year again.
No, he's not going to. He's not
done.
All right.
And you know what? Ed Earlstraw said on Monday, I'm not sure. I don't know. Yeah, Ed does. But he's trying to be respectful to the kid.
I mean, everybody in the
he's
state.
He's trying to be respectful to the kid and his dad.
42-21, the final score. Kentucky defeats LSU tonight. This is Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Let's go to Broussard now. Adam, welcome into the show.
Thanks for taking my call, y'all.
Thank you.
One of my questions y'all kind of answered. I was wondering about Stingley, and after hearing y'all talk about
Kevin don't like this one. He don't like this.
I kind of feel like his dad's protected him from a crappy.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Hey, Kevin, you know what? There's a water fountain over there. Let me tell you something. I think Derek Stingley's dad is like Todd Marinovich's dad. That's me. Kevin, you don't have to take part. You know what? The guy's a ninny. I think the kid is not strong enough. I think his dad is living through his kid. That's me. That is just me. But I will tell you this. I'll be damned if my son's going to go out of state to get a second opinion. This is Louisiana. We got some of the best medical facilities in the world. And you're going to go out of state.
Right?
Oh, God, no.
I said I think he's just protecting him from some draft place. And the other question I was going to ask is who would they shop for to replace Ogeron with?
Well, I mean,
where
that's
do you even begin?
Look, when it comes to that, I obviously
I got to protect my job on Eagle.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to speculate.
I'm
not doing it.
I don't know people. I mean, the names are all listed everywhere, and I think Ara Parseghian. No, I don't think he's passed away, but wasn't he spotted in the Baton Rouge airport several times? Who the hell knows what's gonna happen, when it's gonna happen? Obviously,
but you know what? I'll tell you one thing, and I feel bad for the LSU fan base because they know it's gonna happen. They know. So, do you go to a 11 a.m. kickoff? It's kind of like you spend the money, and I feel bad for Ogeron a little bit because he knows. He knows what happened tonight. It's done. I would pretty much guess that, the negotiations began a week ago.
Yeah, who knows? Really? I obviously, when you're an athletic director, you have to look ahead and you have to assume. You don't want to get caught with your pants down. You have to assume the worst and hope for the best, and you have to cover yourself. So we're due up for we're due up for a break, and Rich,
Well, I got one other thing to say, if I could say it. My wife and I, we're pretty hardcore fans, and we kind of wonder. Hindsight's always 20/20, but we've wondered if Aranda was offered the job, and he left kind of suddenly. We just wondered if things would have been different. Obviously you could.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I think, whatever, if LSU does end up making a move, they're gonna, I know the hot name is Kiffin. Talking about childish behavior, which I think got Ogeron into trouble. I think you need to be very, very careful going down that path, but with childish behavior, because he acts like a child. I mean, that crap he pulled on the sidelines and the popcorn thing, which I still don't understand, to get the popcorn deal and all that thing. I mean, I'm just not. I'm not sure that's where you want to go. I mean, if you want to score 50 points a game, and his defense is horrible. I mean, they're defensively they're horrible.
Think about this.
He's going to outscore people, and he's going to entertain you, and he's going to insult you, and he's going to do all of those things, and he's going to make you laugh, and he's going to do something that's real funny. But that's it. I think we're late for a break, and we can come back and pick up your point after the break. 42-21 is the final score. Kevin Ford sitting in for Charles Hannegriff. I'm sure Charlie is just heartbroken he's missing this tonight, and we'll be back with more of Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
The saying goes, desperate times call for desperate measures. But Louisiana heat is nothing to play with. AC outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call AccuTemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
They said I was small, weak, said my heart wasn't strong enough. But I showed them what heart looked like, again and again and again. Mom got me the right care, the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Don't let people tell you who you are. Show them the right card, the right care.
Tonight, we invite you to celebrate life, wherever and whenever you can, understanding that time is never on our side. Instead, gather up your friends tonight and share a few stories and laughs over a good bottle of wine. Or maybe a family meal that gives everyone a chance to reconnect and remember what's really important, whether it's for a birthday, an anniversary, or simply to remind someone special that they are loved. Rafino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Front to Back Boat Service has been family owned and operated for 30 years. And the Sherman family is NMEA certified. That's the National Marine Electronics Association at Front to Back. They are committed to improving the safety and technology of marine electronics through installer training, interface standards. And look, the fall and the winter, it's the perfect time to do that yearly maintenance you've been putting off. Get those parts you've been wanting. So schedule your appointment today at Front to Back, North Airway off of Airline Highway.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
Eagle 98.1.
Kevin Ford, Richard Condon back on Eagle 98.1 game day. LSU loses to Kentucky 42-21. You know things have gotten bad in Tigertown when nobody who's called tonight has talked about specifics of the football game. I mean, everybody just kind of figured this is what was going to happen. Didn't quite figure it may have happened this way, but nobody really surprised by the loss. Let's go next. Stay in the capital city of Baton Rouge. Jonathan, welcome into the show. Hey, Jonathan.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, listen, I've been hearing y'all talking, speculating, and firing and doing all that. But listen, there's only one problem with LSU, and that's the offensive line. And that goes to coaching. Now, if you just stop and think, there's no more great defenses in college football. Everybody's scoring 35, 40, 50 points. Now, look at the two games today between Texas A&M and Alabama, Ole Miss, and Arkansas. All these the defenses are not stopping nobody. You got to come up with good, strong offensive lines. And LSU problem is not the boys. It's not the kids on the offensive line. The bottom line is coaching. Now, the coach that they supposed to have been a great coach, but it's not showing up. Let's fix that problem first. And if LSU get that offensive line going, they do have super talent. They'll get somewhere. Okay?
All right,
you over here.
All right, Jonathan, we appreciate the call. I think LSU's got much bigger problems than the offensive line, but that's just my opinion. I don't think you have you look at the running back core, and I know Ty Davis-Price had a big game tonight. I don't think that there is a back out there that is, the LSU doesn't have the normal backs that they normally have. Besh has played well at tight end, but they don't have anybody but him, and he's really kind of an oversized wide receiver. From talking about how talented they are defensively, I would have a hard time buying into that after what I saw tonight and what I've seen throughout not only last year but this year as to how much talent is truly on that defense. I think LSU's got problems beyond the offensive line. I think the offensive line is the one that sticks out at you. Yeah, the game has changed, Rich. I mean, and there are people scoring a lot more points and they're doing a lot of things. There is one defense that's still out there that's that dominant, and it's Georgia Bulldogs. They do it every week. They just beat the hell out of everybody, and nobody scores any points against them. And, they gave up 10 points today against Auburn. But, the game's changed. I mean, the game's changed. I mean, you look at the 3 and 4 teams today. Iowa beats Penn State 23-20. I mean, there still are some decent defenses out there. But, yeah, the offenses have taken over. But, the good teams have.
I mean, I think LSU fans watching the game tonight, how in the hell you allow Kentucky to rush for 330 yards? How do you do that? How do you do that? I mean, you know what? Up to this game, LSU defense, strong. Wouldn't you agree? LSU defense, strong. Now, against UCLA, the tight end, the whole bit, giving up plays via passing. How in the world do you go to Lexington, Kentucky, and allow Kentucky to rush for 330 yards? It's not Barry Switzer.
Because tonight, their offensive line was better than your defensive line. Their backs were more shifty.
Kevin, you know what? The defense, they kind of laid down tonight. They didn't
And their
show
scheme
up.
was better.
But, you wonder if the defense is like going, you know what? I'm tired of it. All season long, we've had to uphold all season long. But you know what? For the defense tonight, to just kind of I don't want to say lay down. They didn't show up, man. And that was the biggest disappointment. is that the defense just didn't do anything.
No, and the offense had 0 points in the first half as well. So you have to look at the offense as well. I mean, this is a team-wide problem. I just don't think it's an offensive line. I think LSU's
I never would have thought that a Kentucky offensive line would dominate an LSU defensive front.
Well, at some point,
going back through the history of the series, LSU's defensive front got belittled. They were like rag dolls in a pit bull's mouth. It was brutal.
But at some point, you have to watch, and I don't think anybody on earth is going to accuse me of taking up for this coaching staff tonight that's listening to this, anybody that can understand the English language. But at some point, when you watch things that happen, and yeah, I think schemes were involved in this tonight, but what you saw was football players out there, and those Kentucky football players looked better than the guys from LSU, period. I don't care how many stars they had by their name. I don't care. They look better. The UCLA guys looked better than LSU's players, or looked just as good as they did. I don't care how many stars they had. I mean, everybody talks about, those were all. Who cares? They look better. Now, is it all coaching? Is it the players? You can sit there and argue about it, but
you know
the
what?
fact of the matter is, I think that the talent level here
let's
has
be totally real. Kevin, if it was all coaching, okay. It can't be all talent. They got the talent.
It's a combination in my mind. I just don't think.
Let me just ask you this. If you would give Nick Saban this entire squad going into the season, entire squad, offensive line, running back, quarterbacks, entire squad, do you think Nick Saban, with the same group of players, would have this team where it is?
I think he probably would have gotten rid of a lot of them. That's what I think Nick Saban would have done.
But I'm talking about win losses.
It would be different. I mean, Nick Saban, despite what happened today,
I don't think it's talent. It's all coaching.
I think it's a combination, and I'm not taking up for the coaches because it's certainly a coaching problem as well. LSU loses 42-21, the final score to Kentucky. Let's go down to New Orleans. Bo, you're next up. Bo, are you with us?
Put on a cocktail somewhere. I'm sure Charlie's got a nice cocktail. He's probably easing in, listening to you guys. Anyhow,
I doubt it. I really doubt it, Rich. I don't think Charlie's listening.
No.
Okay. Bo, I can tell you he's not listening.
Appreciate y'all taking my call. Anyhow, I'm coming to you live from uptown New Orleans. I'm in the neighborhood speakeasy. Thanks to LaToya, we got to find our ways to get around a couple of things. But anyhow, just wanted to call in and say, it's a disappointing night, and I know changes are coming, and hopefully they're coming. But anyhow, I appreciate y'all's commentary. Appreciate y'all's review on the game. But one thing I want to say is it's just just watching the game, the effort just didn't seem there, and you saw the sideline and you see Coach O, he just looked uninterested. At times he just looked just didn't have the fire. Does he know something that we don't know? I mean,
hey Bo,
look, unless he's living in a spaceship, he knows he's in trouble.
It's got to be coming.
And he doesn't have any answers. I mean, if he had answers, you'd see a change on the field. Look, sometimes you have to take reality and just address it. And if these guys had any answers, they'd fix the problems. And they don't have the answers.
I think Bo's gone.
But Bo, we appreciate the.
You know what, Kev? Hey, look, here's the bottom line with this: the whole buyout thing has begun, and it's just a matter of when does Scott Woodward pull the trigger? Is it going to happen after the next game against Florida? And then if you do it now, what do? Let me tell you, Scott Woodward, that guy has been unbelievable. Bringing in Kim Mulkey the way he did, everything he does, very professional, very secretive. Nobody finds out about it on social media. That's how he works. Yeah. That deal is done. Now, who the next guy is going to be, I don't know. Nobody out there knows. Scott does. But if you think right now, and you're listening to this show at 12:50 on a Sunday, that Scott doesn't already know his plan of action, how he's going to kind of like go through this motion, it's done. But again, LSU fans out there are going, all right, when is it going to happen? How long is it going to take? It's so unfortunate, man, because how many people out there, Kev, did you think after they beat Clemson, January 13th, so like 642 days ago, I got it written down, that are you telling me after that game, LSU's going to go 8-8, and now all of a sudden, Ed Ozerall may not be the head coach at LSU going into the 2022 season? I'm shocked by this. I'm shocked.
I'm not, because nobody paid attention to what happened after they beat Alabama in 2019. Nobody paid attention. Everybody was looking at the next game and the next game, and then winning the SEC championship against Georgia, then winning the semifinal game, and then playing the national championship game in Clemson, and that just kind of sailed on by. Everybody was happy because they were winning. Nobody paid attention to the small details and what he did. So
I'm going to ask you.
You're asking me. This is
635 days ago is when LSU beat Clemson to win the national title. So you're telling me from that point to now, you expected this?
I expected it after the Alabama game. Once you think you've arrived, and once you tell the world you arrived, and once you go over there to Alabama and act like a 5-year-old child after you win one ball game, and you put that image out to your players, and you put that image out to everybody that we're LSU, we've arrived because we just beat Alabama for the first time in how many years after they beat the hell out of us? And
hey, look, I'm going to put you on a spot right now. Monday, Coach O's press conference.
Yeah, what about
What
it?
does he say? What do you do?
Guys, we're going to talk about.
You know what? Like
I can tell you exactly. I can tell you exactly.
But you know what? After the loss to Auburn, what did Coach O say? Well, we had a great week of practice.
I can tell you exactly.
It's going to be the same old song
he's gonna sit,
and dance.
No, he's going to walk up
it's
there.
It's like Jack in the Box.
He's going to walk. I can tell you exactly what he's going to do. He's going to walk up there with a list that somebody wrote about Florida, and he's going to talk about Florida's players, and he's going to talk about how they go, and then he's going to ask questions. And he's going to say questions. That's how it's going to go. It's exactly how it's going to go. He's going to say, tough loss. We got things to work on. And then he's going to talk about Florida.
And then on Wednesday, the SEC teleconference, well, my guys are fired up. We're going to recover. We're going to beat Florida. You know where I'm at.
Yeah.
He's going to give you that demeanor, that attitude.
And at this point, what else is he going to say? I mean, really, what is he going to say? Hey, look, you know.
The guy's in a no-win situation. What do you want him to say?
Yeah, he's put himself in this position, and I don't think he realizes what he did to put himself in this position, because if he realized what he did to put himself in this position, he would have stopped. And nobody around him or nobody that are friends of his were able to get to him and say, hey, copy the guy that's won all the national championships, the guy that you always talk about that you're going to beat and you're going to kick his ass all the time at Alabama. Copy him, okay? The one that everybody hates around here and doesn't want to give any credit. I know they lost tonight, and everybody's probably, called their ex-wife and told them they wanted to get back together after A&M beat Alabama. But copy that guy. And nobody did. Everybody, all of his people supported him and everything. So, he surrounded himself with people that told him exactly what he wanted to hear.
Hey, did you go to the LSU Clemson game?
No, I didn't go to that game.
All right, so after that game, if I were to tell you 2 seasons later, LSU would give up 318 yards rushing against Kentucky and lose 42-21. What would you have said?
I would have said
that night after you watched the game.
I would have said, I'm not surprised, Richard. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, this was inevitable. When you think you have arrived and you start doing the stuff that he did, this is the result.
So you kind of
this is the result.
It went to his head.
It went straight to his head. It went straight to his head. He started acting like a child. And this is what happens when it happens. He got complacent, didn't interview people. He had everybody turn him down for an offense. He thought the guy at the Saints was going to come be his defensive coordinator. That was never going to happen. Never going to happen. He put all his eggs in that basket. How many people did he have to interview to find coordinators who have never called plays on the college level? Never called plays. I mean, I don't want to rip these guys, but who else in the top 25 has coordinators?
You ever watch your Waltons?
Yes, I watched the Waltons.
You like it?
I mean, it was okay. I mean, I thought John Boy was all right, and I thought the grandma was a tough ass. But yeah, it was.
She got brothers, sisters?
No, I'm a
single kid.
Yeah.
Wow. right there, brother.
All right.
Me too. But
All
you
right.
know what? When I watch the Waltons, and I think of Ike Godsey with the little mercantile, the
Yeah.
little store,
Yeah.
that kind of reminds me of that. He's kind of like got his little store and on a bayou, and he's got his little niche. Then all of a sudden, Ike Godsey, they want him to be the CEO of Walmart or Costco. Just a little step above.
I kind of like watching Little House on the Prairie. And I always felt bad in the open of that show when Mary's running down the little hill when she trips in the prairie. I always wondered, did she really get hurt?
Yeah,
bad?
you
And
know,
then
I
when
want
she
to talk
went-
about
and
that
then when
because I
she
was
went-
like 17
and then when
had
she went-
weird thoughts.
And then when she
No.
went when she went blind, I think
No,
I actually
no,
when
no,
she went
stop
blind,
it.
I cried.
You're gonna bum me out, dude.
Okay, when she
went blind, no.
you're gonna tell me.
You're not gonna
You're
do
gonna tell
that.
me.
I am not gonna go there.
You're gonna tell
Hell
me.
no, I'm not.
When Mary was blind and
Yes.
blind for good,
Yep,
you didn't cry.
Yep. I did.
I know you did, Condon.
More
know-
than I did tonight.
More than you did tonight.
Yep.
And that's a damn shame. 42-21 final
E.T.'s
score.
fingers glowing. Oh,
Kentucky
God.
beats LSU, and Condon admits
Brian's
that,
song.
that he cried watching Little House
I
on the
admit
Prairie.
it.
Yeah.
I'm not crying
That's
no
the
more
first
than
step to-
LSU fans
first
are
step
right
to
now. I'll tell
recovery.
you that.
All right.
Yeah.
And your therapist should have helped you through the Barbara Archer situation.
It's not
but-
working for me. Have you heard me?
All right. 42-21. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with stats. Boy, that'll be fun. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
The saying goes, desperate times call for desperate measures. But Louisiana Heat is nothing to play with. AC outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call Accutemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
They said I was small, weak, said my heart wasn't strong enough. But I showed them what heart looked like, again and again and again. Mom got me the right care, the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Don't let people tell you who you are. Show them the right card, the right care.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information, visit garciadidmyroof.com.
Eagle 98.1.
Wow.
All right, Kevin Ford, Richard Condon back on Eagle 98.1 game day. 42-21. Kentucky beats LSU tonight. A couple of things happened. What?
Coach, you are eating almonds.
Yeah, I mean, almonds at one. Yeah, what the hell you want me to eat?
No, you go to the Waffle House. You order a 3-egg omelet. Greasy. Make fun of the people on the other side. Almonds.
Yeah, but I'm here. I'm eating almonds right now, yeah. And they're good.
Okay. All right.
They're really good. You want some?
I'll run down the hallway, get you a little lettuce with a little vinaigrette. Isn't that great?
Yeah,
a bottle of water with maybe a little spice of lemon.
You were just upset. You were just got your panties in a wad right now because, number one, you had to admit on live radio that you cried when you found out Mary was blind. And you were also scared to death when the Brady Bunch was in Hawaii and Greg got lost in the water when he was surfing.
Got bit by the spider?
He got bit by the spider?
Don't
you were
play
worried
with
about
me,
him.
Dude. Don't
you were
play
worried
with me.
about him.
You're going to make me an emotional wreck here.
Yeah, you should be.
Hell yeah.
You should be. All right.
Blair Witch.
All right. I think we have, hell, I don't know how many callers we have left. Let's go back to the phones. Jason in Gulfport. I think you're
People
up
know
next.
what's
If not,
over.
Jason,
Doesn't
you are
matter.
next.
Get nuts.
Yeah. Hey, guys.
Hey, Jace, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, well, I mean, as well as I could be. To your point, Kevin, earlier, I will say something about the game. Our linebackers are absolutely atrocious, and I think to that effect also our the middle part of our secondary, like our Nick Cole and our strong safety is terrible as well. So to that point, because you were saying nobody was talking about the game,
no. I wasn't being
that,
critical about that. I was just saying kind of tells you where everybody is.
I just wanted to add that. But to piggyback on what you were saying, I think this whole just story about that Ed Orgeron built 2019, I think has been really kind of ad-libbed a lot too much. Then I think we're giving him a lot more credit.
Well, he has to have credit for hiring Brady and for getting Joe Burrow here. I mean, if we're going to sit here and criticize the guy like we have tonight, you got to be fair.
But I understand, but Kevin, how much credit are we giving him here? Because when he walks onto campus, Emsminger's here, Aranda's here. Aranda was the one that brought in Bush. Bush was the one that told him about and begged him to get Burrow here. He still had to get him here, but I mean, and I agree I give him credit for that. But it wasn't like he went and found Burrow. Bush knew about Burrow and he told him about that. And then Emsminger was the one that told him about Joe Brady and begged him to bring him here because he saw him at one of those conferences and heard him speak about the RPO and said, "Hey, this guy has the stuff that you're looking for as far as like the kind of offense you want to run." But if you look at honestly his hires, I mean Sullivan. What was the other guy, the DL guy that's like 100 years old that he keeps recycling over and over
Pete
again?
Jenkins.
Pete Jenkins. I mean, not that Pete Jenkins is not a good coach, but let's look at who he brought in. Meatball, who was a grad assistantship. That's the best you can do for a DL coach. I mean, you look at who he brought in. So I'm almost like to me he's almost like Peter Sellers from being there. He just kind of rode along. I mean, yeah, did he have a couple decent little things that found him here and there? Yeah, but for this idea that he, brought us a national championship, I think is hogwash. I think it's I think it's all blown up and overdone. That being stated, I think, like you said, I agree with you. It's a natural arc to his story. He was never going to be anything more than he was to the beginning, which was a above average DL coach and an above average recruiter. And to say that, to be surprised that we're at this point now is kind of silly of us to think that there was going to be anything better than that. I mean, only other person you could draw a comparison to maybe Dabo Swinney, but if you look at Dabo's arc, it's a lot different. His hires were good. His progression was better. He was able to become a good play caller. Even with Chizik and Larry Coker. Larry Coker was the offensive coordinator. I mean, he called the offensive plays for those teams when he had his success. Gene Chizik is arguably a very good defensive coordinator and has been, had success at other places as a head coach before he came to Auburn and had that one good season. But, Ed doesn't have that. Ed doesn't have any, he's a defensive line coordinator, and arguably I would say that he underachieved at that position is underachieved up to this point.
I think you make some valid points. When his first staff, was very, one of the issues with his first staffs when he got here was that, and people were talking about was the age of the staff and being able to relate to the players. He's hired a younger staff now, hasn't That hasn't worked out, and the coordinators have obviously, not worked out. I mean, we all saw the fiasco with Canada, and and it's just been, the guy has made some very poor choices. Period. No matter how you look at it.
All right, look. Hey, thanks for the call, Kev. When you go 8-8 after winning a national title, people are disappointed. I think we can all agree.
Correct.
That's fair. That's criticism. Then you better nail it on a PR side. You can't go 8-8 after winning a national title and have everybody speculating on how you handled yourself, the program. It has crashed and burned when it comes to PR. And you can win. People are able to excuse you, social media, doing certain things, but you can't go 8-8 and then have the athletic director being in a position when he's going to judge you for poor decisions and how you represent yourself personally. Social media, out and about, whatever. Would that be fair?
Yeah, I mean he's put himself in a he's put himself squarely.
Look, you win.
In this.
People are going to forgive you for jogging with this person and doing that. Social media pictures in the bed, whatever. They'll forgive you for that when you win.
But you
can't go 8-8 after winning a national title and you expect people to go, "Oh, no big deal." You can't.
I mean, do you know exactly what's going to, exactly what happens in that situation? You're talking about the social media pictures, okay? If I'm Nick Saban, okay, this is all I do. You come into a kid and it's like, I really like LSU and I really want to go there. And look, I'm not trying to take a shot. I'm just trying to be. No, hold on. I just want to say this. If I'm Nick Saban, I'm going to say, look at this photo. Mom,
no, I get
do you want your kid coming here, or do you want your kid coming here?
You know what? It's the whole thing too with the sassy blue, and I got the state trooper bowing up, showing his bicep. Really?
You don't say this. You don't say the sissy blue. You don't say what you said on the radio the other night. But
I got a fishing hole down.
But he's got
you can't do it.
He does not have a support group that has done anything but support him and not try to help him, because I would have to think that unless he completely doesn't listen to anybody.
When you're making that kind of money, you just look. I don't care who's heckling you. I don't care who's throwing eggs at you. I don't care. You got to walk away.
You walk away.
You just got to do it. Because to whom much is given, much is expected. You can't lower yourself to that. Whatever. So that guy's heckling you at the Rose Bowl. So what? So that guy called you on your Wednesday coaches show. So what? Let it go. Hey, my sister's there, or whatever. You can't address it, man. You just can't. I get it. As a man, I'm very competitive. My wife gets on me all the time. Rich, let it go. Let it go. But, man, when you're in a position where you're representing the state school and you just got to let it go. You can't address it. And now, since you didn't address it, and now you've gone 8-8 since beating Clemson, now it's magnified. Now everybody out there is going, wait a minute. You're not that good winning games now, and you're going to embarrass the state. I'm an alum. Any university, no, it can't happen.
Yeah, look, I don't argue with anything you said. All right, we have time for two more callers, 4221. Kentucky beats LSU tonight. Let's go to Denham Springs. Kenneth, welcome into the show.
Yes, Kevin, thank y'all for taking my call tonight. I enjoy the show. I got a comment I wanted to make about back in 2016. I was worried that this was going to happen when we settled on a coach and didn't hire what we wanted. Joe Oliva went after Tom Herman and couldn't, and all that fiasco that happened, and then we end up settling on a coach and not getting what was best for a program as big as LSU's.
Well, I mean, Herman probably didn't turn out to be the wise choice either. And look, let me just say this. I think in a lot of situations, I think LSU fans and fans at every school, I think, are blinded, because I truly believe in my heart of hearts that the LSU fans, a lot of them, believe that any of the top coaches of the country would run over here backwards to come coach at LSU. And let me tell you something. That is not true of LSU, and that is not true of every school. There's different situations with different coaches. And the biggest thing I tell you about coaches and why can't we get this guy and why can't we get that guy? You know what? You know a lot of times why a guy doesn't come? And people don't understand this about coaches because they think they make a lot of money in this. It's because, you know what? I've got 2 kids. They're 12 and 14, and my wife wants to stay. They forget that these people are humans just like us. They wake up, take a pee, take a crap in the morning, and they have families. So all of these coaches things that happen, I think was there a better coach out there? Probably. Were they going to come flocking to LSU? You're living in dreamland. If people believe that, they really are living in a fantasy land because they forget the one thing about coaches. They are people with wives. And if the wife says, guess what? I don't give a damn what they're offering you. I'm not pulling my kids out of this school. That's going to happen. And LSU football is secondary to that. And there is a segment that just cannot believe that that's possible. So the next coach, I mean, they're going to have a list of people that are just lined up to come to LSU. That's crap. It's crap. It's hard to hire coaches. That's why they're getting fired all the time. Texas has got an unlimited supply of money. Unlimited supply of money. They had a hard time. Who did they hire? I mean, did they hire Sarkisian? Okay, I mean, he's got his list of, he's got some skeletons in the closet as well. So I think, Rich, when people talk about this, they lose perspective of they're all flocking to LSU. They all want to come to LSU. That's not true. It's just not true. I'm sorry.
You know what? Here's the bottom line with this. There's a lot of people out there that think LSU's a great job, which it is. And when you look at, people could sit here like this time of morning and go, all right, who's going to take the LSU job? The LSU job, Kev, is a great job.
Yeah.
It's not the job after McClendon left.
No.
Not the job after Archer left. I mean, this is a great job. So how do you go about, and you make a great point, with a wife and kids, and can I adjust and adapt to that lifestyle and that sort of thing? But still, would you consider LSU right now, the success over the program over the last, say, 10 years, 15 years? It's got to be a top 10 job, right?
Yeah. It's a top 10 job because it's in the SEC. And look, let me tell you that there's also coaches out there that are going to look at this and they're going to be like, you know what? I'm pretty happy where I am right now. And until the guy at Alabama leaves, because I'm going to be judged, because I am solely judged on how I do against him.
You know what's so tough is we're sitting here talking about this, and it's not like Ed Ozar's not doing his best. And I know he's in a tough spot. I know Scott Woodward is in a tough spot. But in the grand scheme of things, everybody out there who buys season tickets, who brings their RVs and all of that, they don't care. All they want is, hey, look, if you're going to increase my TAF fees, if you're going to do this and that, all right, fine. Lift the COVID mandate. I want to be able to go to the games and know that this coach is going to give me my money's worth.
Yeah.
And it's tough.
It is real tough. Got time for one more call. We're going to go all the way to Malaysia. And Aslan, you're on Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
Hi, Kevin. Hi, Rich. How are you?
I'm well. How are you? What time is it where you are?
It's 2:14 in the afternoon, Sunday afternoon.
2:14 Sunday afternoon.
2:14.
Are the Saints up?
Yeah. I'm sorry?
No, he was asking if the Saints were winning because Condon was gonna make a bet on the Saints game. They're playing the Washington, whatever the hell they call them now.
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Yeah, sure. I think I called a couple of times before. I was a graduate from LSU in 1999, and I think I'm probably the biggest fan over here in Southeast Asia. So, like I said, we've gone through stuff, with Miles, with Donardo and Saban, and now here. So I don't know where this program is headed. I think 2019 was like a 15-0, and it was like perfect season for everyone. And me over here in Malaysia, I'm rejoicing by myself because I don't have anyone else who follow LSU football like I do. But anyhow, so moving forward with the new head coach, Lane Kiffin, I would think we should look at Urban Meyer. I don't know. He's got stuff going on, and with that video on YouTube that I saw. But I think he's proven. He's 0-4 in the Jaguars. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I've never been a big Urban Meyer fan, and I think that I'm not sure. I never saw the video. I never saw what happened with that.
Oh, there's Urban with the little blonde girl, and then his wife says, "Well, we all are sinners." Bull crap. You love your wife. You don't put yourself in that situation. Urban Meyer is a goofball.
Right.
Sorry.
42-21. We got lots left to do in the show. Stats
Urban Meyer
are next. Kentucky beats LSU. We'll come back and look at the statistics from tonight's blowout.
Maybe in Malaysia. No way. Urban.
All right. You ready to break?
Hell yeah.
Hey, guess what I'm going to do in the break?
And guess what we got coming back?
I'm going to eat more almonds. I'm going to eat more almonds.
Sissy.
All right. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.
They said I was small, weak, said my heart wasn't strong enough. But I showed them what heart looked like, again and again and again. Mom got me the right care, the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Don't let people tell you who you are. Show them the right card, the right care.
The saying goes, desperate times call for desperate measures. But Louisiana heat is nothing to play with. AC outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call Accutemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
Eagle 98.1.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
Offices in Baton Rouge.
WDGO and HD1 Baton Rouge.
We're back on the air right now. Kevin Ford, Richard Condon, 42-21, our final score.
Emotional.
Well, look, Condon, I'm going to let you go ahead and take over for a second.
Appreciate
I have me a Bartle and James wine cooler and some crepes I'm going to eat while you do this segment.
LSU. Wow. It get beat 42-21. I'm so emotional. Forget about the Tell the Truth Monday.
Here's a little rag for you.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. Wow, another man giving another man a handkerchief.
It's actually a napkin from a fast food place. But
it's very early
I use it
on
for
a
my
Sunday,
almonds.
no problem.
Kind of
Never
salty.
thought I'd be on the air talking about an LSU football team getting physically dominated by Kentucky. LSU defense, 475 yards, 330 on the ground. Wow. I think I'm going to go to church tomorrow. Hadn't been to church in a long time, but I'm going tomorrow. Kentucky, feelings. Beating Missouri by 7. University of Tennessee at Chattanooga by 5. South Carolina by 6. Wow. That causes a lot of feelings, Kevin.
Yeah, and you're having some right now.
Yep, I am.
This napkin's still available if you need
Damn
it.
right. Can't wait to go to the Waffle House on College Drive. Can't wait to flirt with the waitress.
Just as long as you're going through this emotional moment right now, please don't think about Mary going blind on Little
Don't
House
worry
on the
about it.
Prairie.
I'm not worrying about Mary. Could care less about Mary. I'm worrying about an LSU football program right now. You know, the Ed Ogeron era is over. The only uncertainty is the date of the exit papers. And I am so emotionally distraught right now, Kevin. And you know what? You're making light of it. You're not even worrying about it. You're checking your damn phone.
Yeah, I'm pulling
You're
up the
worried
damn
about when the
stats.
Specs are going to be running. The Reds.
The Reds.
The brackish water. Yep. That's
right.
what you're doing.
Yeah.
Eagle 98.1 Game Day Stat Check. Presented by Luba. Luba, genuine dependability.
What happened?
I think we're doing stats. I think we're doing
Stat time.
Stat time. All right, 42-21, your final score. First downs, Kentucky 24, LSU 22. Stats look a lot closer than the game was. Total yards, 475 for Kentucky, 408 LSU. Passing yards, 261 LSU, 145 for Kentucky. Rushing yards, 330 net yards rushing for Kentucky. They averaged 7.3 yards per carry. The biggest
Averaging
surprise.
189 coming in.
The biggest surprise of the game, obviously, LSU 147 yards rushing, averaged 4.2 yards per rush. 4 penalties, LSU 18 yards, 3 for Kentucky 25 yards. That means the officials wanted to get the hell out of there. Turnovers, 1 big one for LSU in the first quarter, none for Kentucky. And time of possession, 32-12 for Kentucky, 27-48 for LSU. Now let's get you to some individual numbers in the game for LSU. Max Johnson, 22 of 38, 261 yards, 1 TD, no interceptions. Ty Davis-Price led LSU in rushing, 22 carries, 147 yards, average 6.7 yards per carries. Keyshawn Boutte led LSU with 8 receptions before his injury, which looks like it could be severe. 8 receptions, but just 73 yards, averaging 9.1 yards per reception in the ball game. Individual totals for the Kentucky Wildcats were like this. Lewis, the quarterback, very efficient, 14 of 17, 145 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions in the game. 2 100-yard rushers for the Wildcats. Rodriguez had 16 carries for 147 yards, averaged 9.2 yards per carry, scored a touchdown. Smoke, 12 carries, 104 yards, averaged 8.7 yards per carry. And the quarterback, Lewis, 11 carries, 75 yards, and he scored a couple of touchdowns. And those are your statistics from tonight's game, which Kentucky led LSU 35-7 at halftime. The Tigers scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to make it 35-21. Kentucky added an additional touchdown to make it 42-21. And that was your final score. We'll come back. Some shocking numbers on the college football scoreboard, Rich. That's next.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
Chevy trucks are known for their legendary dependability and capability. And right now is the right time to find your next Chevy truck. It's time to forge ahead with Chevy Silverado. It's time to take on new challenges. And it's time to take it to the next level. It's the perfect time to do more in your next Chevy truck. See your Super Chevy dealers today.
And we're back to the action. Mike's picked up beer for the game. He's ready to check out. But wait, he's left his wallet at home. But what's this? Mike's got his home bank debit card and his mobile wallet, making payments quick and contactless. Plus, with a home bank mobile app, he can get instant balances, deposit checks, and send money to his friends to help cover the pizza. Talk about a winning game plan. Visit home24bank.com/mobile to learn more. Home Bank, member FDIC.
For over 14 years, Audi of Baton Rouge on Airline Highway has provided buyers with both an unparalleled buying and ownership experience. Every day, their goal is to create customers for life. How do they do that? By offering the best product, the best buying experience, the best ownership experience, and the best ownership value, as well as innovative services like Audi at your door or the Summer of Audi sales event. Find out more at Audi of Baton Rouge, 11955 Airline Highway or AudiBatonRouge.com.
Eagle 98.1. The Robinson Brothers Ford Lincoln College Football Scoreboard. Robinson Brothers Ford Lincoln, on airline under the giant American flag.
All right, our college football scoreboard. Kentucky beats LSU. 16th ranked Kentucky, 42-21, the final score. Number 6, Oklahoma was down and out, but they come back and defeat number 21, Texas, 55-48. Number 7, Ohio State rolled over Maryland, 66-17. Number 11, Michigan State beat Rutgers, 31-13. Rich. Number 17, Ole Miss over number 13, Arkansas in Oxford, 52-51. Arkansas goes for 2 as they score the last play of the game to try to win it, and it doesn't go. But 1,267 yards of offense in that game. Talk about getting your money's worth. Fans got it there.
I had Ole Miss. I laid the number. Loss.
Well, I had Vandy in this one. Number 20, Florida beat Vanderbilt 42-0. That was my upset special. I'm just kidding. Tennessee. Tennessee's won another football game. How about that? They beat South Carolina 45-20.
Did you see those jerseys?
No, I missed it.
Tennessee wore?
No, I was.
Wow.
No,
Worse than Seattle on Thursday night.
No, I was watching Little House on the Prairie at that time. Baylor defeated West Virginia 45-20. Let's see. Georgia Tech beat Duke, if you care, 31-27. Other scores, number 2, Georgia rolls at number 18, Auburn, 34-10. That Georgia defense is something special.
You know, you think Georgia right now, and now that Alabama lost, who would have ever thought going into this season? Georgia, dominant, SEC, and maybe in the nation.
Boise State upsets number 10 BYU 26-17. In overtime, number 19 Wake Forest beat Syracuse 42-37. Number 24 SMU beat Navy 31-24. This is one. Florida State won a game. They beat North Carolina on the road 35-25. Other scores from college football. Number 3 Iowa beats number 4 Penn State 23-20. Missouri goes out of conference. They beat North Texas in a shootout 48-35. Let's see, other scores that interest me. I haven't found any yet. Number 9, Michigan escapes Nebraska with a late field goal, 32-29. Number 14, Notre Dame, they struggle, but they beat Virginia Tech, 32-29 as well. Number 1, Alabama goes to College Station playing 3-2 Texas A&M, and with a late field goal, the Aggies beat Alabama 41-38. That snapped Alabama's 100-game win streak against unranked opponents. I think the last one, as I was trying to remember, was the UL Monroe game.
But you know what? Even before tonight's game, LSU fans were going, well, you know what? We still have a shot at winning a game. Well, when you lose tonight, and then you got Texas A&M did what they did against Alabama, when's that next game going to come?
Well, I have some hope. So
ULM.
I have some hope for you. Georgia State beats ULM tonight, 55-21.
Yes.
But UL Monroe.
I got to get tickets at
UL Monroe made a
ULM
hell of an
game.
effort in that game, Rich. The score was much closer than the game was much closer than that score indicates. So just want to let you know. Number 25, San Diego State beat New Mexico 31-7. UCLA beat Arizona 34-16, and that is a look at our college football scoreboard.
You know, I know
tonight.
we got to do it, but you know damn well everybody already knows the scores. They got their phone, they're on the computer. They know. Got their card. They're like scratching out. Damn it! I had 10-team card and I lost on one. They know.
Yeah.
Yep.
But there's no office football pool here, and that where you have the little squares, and I kind of miss that.
I got one in the Eagle.
Well, you need to do it. All right, you need to do it. 42-21, our final score. I think game balls is next. Boy, that's going to be difficult.
Guess what? You know what I'm giving my defensive game ball right now?
Well, no, you can't. We have to take a break first.
Okay.
So wait. We'll be right back on Eagle 98.1, and you will hear Condon's defensive game ball.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The saying goes, desperate times call for desperate measures. But Louisiana heat is nothing to play with. AC outages hurt everyone. Don't be a victim. Call AccuTemp and schedule your maintenance check today.
They said I was small, weak, said my heart wasn't strong enough. But I showed them what heart looked like, again and again and again. Mom got me the right care, the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Don't let people tell you who you are. Show them the right card, the right care.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your
Eagle 98.1. Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Game Ball. Game Ball. Game Ball. Presented by WCK Foundation Repair. Support your home team. WCK Foundation Repair.
All right, Condon, game ball time, 42-21. Kentucky beats LSU. My game ball, I'm going to do offense. I'm going to make this simple. Ty Davis-Price, 22 carries, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns, average 6.7 yards per carry. He gets my game ball.
Defense. I'm going to give my game ball to the scoreboard in Lexington, Commonwealth, because it ran out of time. I can't give any game ball to anybody on the defensive side. Sorry. Can't do it. So I just want to thank the scoreboard for having like 60 minutes, 15, 15, 15, and 15. It didn't go into overtime. So that's my game ball. To the scoreboard at Commonwealth.
All right, since you and I are just chatting amongst ourselves now and probably nobody else is listening, I know that it's October 10th now.
Yep.
Before we go to our final break.
Mm-hmm.
And I know every week it's your tradition to do this day in LSU football history.
You know, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at you, and I think you had a problem with me giving a defensive game ball to the scoreboard.
No, absolutely not.
No seconds left?
No,
Okay,
I gave a player of the game to Hawthorne and I one time in a basketball game because LSU got their ass kicked by UCLA at Pauley Pavilion. I got in trouble for that. I said, player of the game? I was thinking to myself, I'm like, well, hell, it's late at night. I'm going to give it to Jim and I for having to sit through this crap.
You know, sometimes you're overly negative. So let's go back to October 10th of 1958. You know what happened on this day? 1958, Kevin. The first time LSU ever won a national title. The largest margin of victory that season. Guess who it came by?
Who?
LSU against Miami. They won 41-0. How you like that?
Pretty good.
Largest margin of victory that season. Okay, fine.
All right.
That doesn't interest you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it.
What the hell?
Remember, I have Crepes and Bartles and James. So
I got a couple of crates right here.
Yeah.
October 10th, 1987.
Yes.
Number 7 LSU at number 16 Georgia. Kevin Guidry with the late second interception. LSU wins the game. On this day, October 10th, 1987. That was the game where David Brondike kicked like 4 field goals. You remember that season LSU went like 10-1-1?
Yeah, that was before you pissed off Barbara
South
Archer.
Carolina. What's that?
That was before you pissed off Barbara Archer.
Oh, you're talking about when Barbara Archer came in at Lenny's restaurant
Yes,
and
that was
absolutely verbally abused me.
That's right. I was
I'll
before
never
that.
forget
That
that.
was before that.
Yep.
Yeah. You'll
So that's
probably
it.
do. Yeah. We.
Oh, guess what happens on Monday? Hey, Monday.
What? What's Monday?
Anniversary. LSU beat number 1 Florida
Oh.
in 1997. That's Monday.
Oh, okay. I thought
The
you were
11th. How you like that?
All right, 42-21, the final score. LSU falls to 3-3
Where
and
else you
1-2
gonna get that, Kevin?
in the SEC. Kentucky goes to 6-0 for the first time since
You better thank
1950.
those guys.
Oh, are we done? I mean, we're done.
Yep.
Well, thanks everybody for producing. All of our producers that have done this, put us on YouTube. Rich, this was fun sitting in tonight.
You want to go to Waffle House? You and I? We'll get nuts.
Yeah, well, I think
Hell
we should.
yeah, we will.
Yeah, we will. I'm going to tell you. And well, I mean, what do I do with these crepes?
Yeah, take them to the camp.
All right, LSU playing Florida next Saturday at 11 a.m. And pregame here on Eagle 98.1. Charlie will be back an hour and a half after the game is over, and he will be with Richard Condon. And you will get this day in LSU football
Damn right
history,
you will.
October 16th. You'll get that next week. You want to tune in for that? Rich, it was an absolute pleasure. Enjoyed it, brother.
Hey, man, thanks for filling in. And, yeah, it's a tough night, but, hey, we'll live another week, brother. LSU, Florida, next Saturday, all the action. Eagle, 98.1.
So long.
LSU football today has been